Hello! Welcome to Advent Midweek Devotions. I'm Pastor Laureen Rowe of St. John's United Church of Christ in Germantown, Ohio, and I am with
Pastor Michelle Terry from Bethlehem Lutheran Church in Middletown, Ohio.
A reading from the prophet Micah. But you, O Bethlehem of Ephrathah, you who are one of the little clans of Judah, from you shall come forth for me one who is to rule in Israel, whose origin is from of old, from ancient days. Therefore he shall give them up until the time when she who is in labor has brought forth. Then the rest of his kindred shall return to the people of Israel. And he shall stand and feed his flock in the strength of the Lord, in the majesty of the name of the Lord his God, and they shall live secure. For now he shall be great to the ends of the earth, and he shall be the one of peace.
So for this week of peace, we are talking about first how we can be change agents in our world that seems so many days not to have peace. And so if you have a container with water in it, a clear container works best so you can see it through. But then take some food coloring, which is in your kit, and put in several drops. And see how the color goes to the bottom? Just kind of goes straight in there and doesn't do a whole lot, but sit down there. But when you enter in and stir it around, the whole thing changes color. You may not be able to see that as well, so I'm going to put some white paper behind it so maybe you can see that. We can do it again. We put some food coloring in, see how that goes down? But until we enter, it just kind of stays down there. And we enter, and we do God's work, and change is made throughout. So we are called to be the peace, and we can look for other peacemakers who are out working, and I dropped the ring in. So we want to be the person to take the ring out, because you don't want rings in there. But find other people, like I found Michelle. Michelle found me, because it's so much more fun together.
So much more fun together.
So that's just it. You can leave this sitting in your house, and just when you walk by, put some more in there to remind yourself that you are the peacemaker in the world. Blessed are the peacemakers, says in the Beatitudes.
After you've done that, grab out your candle that was in your kit, your little battery-operated candle,
And a sheet of paper.
and write the word peace. I'm going to do it right in the center of ours. Write peace on a piece of paper. And think deeply about areas of conflict in the world, nation, community, and your personal life. Write them down in a word or two to describe them on the paper, and then turn on the candle and pray. Pray for the things you wrote down. Pray for whatever the Spirit puts on your heart. So Pastor Laureen and I are going to spend a minute here writing things down.
So one of the things I'm struggling with right now is my hand is wet and I don't have a towel, so I'm going to use my sweater. And now my hand has peace. See how that works?
All right. So for the first prayer request, I am going to put peace for areas affected by violence and conflict. So there's so many places all over the world, but I want to pray for those who don't have safety in their lives because of usually government conflict.
And I'm going to take off of that and put domestic violence. Because I think one of the things that has happened with the pandemic and so many people being told we need to stay away from each other is those who are living in households that are not safe continue to live in silence and invisible. And so I pray that they find peace and that they are no longer invisible.
Kind of in that vein, in a personal life example, I'm going to pray for people's mental health. I think this has been such a trying year for people's mental well-being. I just pray that particularly those who struggle with depression, anxiety, things like that, various mental health conditions, that they have peace, but really all of us, because I think many, many people for the first time have experienced some of those symptoms. So pray for peace for people's mental well-being.
I'm going to pray for our political peace within our own country, because it seems we are so divided. And even though the election has passed, the tension on either side of the aisle just seems to grow and grow. And so I hope we can find ways toward peace.
And I think I will put, this kind of goes into the domestic violence, but really women and children who are vulnerable throughout the world, sometimes unsafe working conditions, which of course often applies to men as well, but women and children are particularly vulnerable, unsafe working conditions, unsafe living conditions. And so women and children who are just looking for peace, that they find peace and safety.
And our last one we're going to add onto our list is I'm going to put the homeless on our list. The homeless so often deal with many issues around peace, the mental health that Michelle lifted up, but also having to find some place to sleep where they are not feeling threatened, a place where they can lay their head and feel peace and safe.
That's such an important one right now because so many shelters are limited in who they can take in or are not taking people in at all. So that's such a good thing to remember.
Yeah. And so once you have your list, because your list may look like ours, but I hope you add some on your list that are personal for you. Areas in your life where you may be feeling tension and need peace. These don't have to be global or national or even community-wide. It can be personal for you. What in your spirit needs peace? I know for me, I need some of the peace of the internal anxiety. I've been dealing with that, and so I ask for that within myself. Once you have your list, take your battery-operated candle. If you have a real candle you prefer to use at home, feel free to do that. But you're going to light your candle and you're going to set it right in the center of your paper that you've written all those things are. And you're going to put that somewhere that you can see it. And as that candle burns, God's attention is called here to these things, and that prayer continues. So you can let this candle keep burning. I think they're 8-hour candles. So for 8 hours that would go, and every time you walk by it, it would be burning. Another way you could do it is when you walk by it and it's on, you pause and you pray for those things, and then you turn it off. And then the next time you walk by it, you turn it on and pray for those things. And so it's going off and on. But if you use a real candle, just make sure you put it in a safe place so you don't catch anything on fire, because then that would not be peaceful.
That would not be peaceful.
Nothing peaceful. No.
All right, after you have spent as much time as your spirit needs in prayer, we encourage you to get out your piece of origami paper. You should have several to work with, so Don't be discouraged. And we are going to make peace doves out of origami. We're going to create the peace dove using the directions in your packet. And we're going to place it perhaps by your candle, but I might even suggest somewhere different in your house so that every time that you pass that little peace dove, or if you put it on your counter where you can see it while you're doing the dishes, it will be a reminder to pray for God's peace to enter our world in unexpected and glorious ways, as the packet says, and an encouragement for us to be peacemakers. Turn to the instructions. And Pastor Laureen and I are going to make these peace doves with you for the first time. So, begin by folding in half like this. And then fold in half like this. A nice crisp edge is good for origami. I learned a couple years ago when I made a lot of them for an Easter celebration. And then you're going to unfold back to this. Then you're going to take the bottom portion of this bigger triangle and fold it up.
She's done this before.
I haven't, but I made a lot of butterflies.
Oh,
I feel like it
butterflies.
might be close.
Okay.
It's like riding a bicycle
That's why she's leading this
for
one.
the first 5 steps. We'll see how it goes after that.
So like this.
So like a little hat. Just
Like
a
this?
little,
Okay.
just it's cute. And then you're going to turn it over. So this part is facing down.
So this is all one piece here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now this separates. If I can separate it. You're going to fold the side that faces you down.
How far down?
I'm not entirely sure.
Down to maybe that edge?
I think past. Yeah.
To the edge of that other piece?
We're gonna say to the edge, and we're gonna see if we have to change our mind about that later. Is what we're gonna do.
Because we want you to have all the peace and all the joy with us.
Right. Okay. So we have that. Okay. See, now it's not all coming back to me. And now we rotate it. So it looks like this in front of you. Okay.
You see that? Then we got a little flapper here. That's the fold.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to fold it in half. Like that. I think.
So your little triangle that you just made is on the inside, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
So
So now you flip it.
it's starting to look a little bit like a bird.
A little bit. Fingers crossed. All right. Now you fold these edges up like this. It's going to make your wing, I'm 90% sure.
Well, it does. It says right there, fold the wing up and repeat behind.
There you go.
I
Teamwork
didn't- I
makes
didn't know you
the
had-
dream work.
I didn't know you had wings in the behind, but clearly you do.
It's been a long year. Okay, so now you have this. And then on your shorter side, you're going to take the very top.
Which is my shorter side? This
Okay,
side?
I have a shorter side. I don't want to say one of us is better than the other. And it's totally fine.
I don't have a shorter side.
If you have equal sides. God loves all our peace doves, even if yours doesn't look like one. But assuming, just pick a side.
I'll
Just
pick a side. Okay, pick a side.
And then you take the top here, and you just fold it like that. You smush it. You smush it in.
Like this?
You got it.
We're smushing it in.
Look, see, it doesn't even matter that you don't have a shorter side. It's working out.
Because now it is a shorter side.
Mm-hmm. So that's how that worked.
But now that it's smushing funny.
Well, We can only expect so much from pastors who had to learn how to do origami. This was not covered in seminary.
It was not covered in seminary.
So,
Dr. Labode, you did not cover this in seminary.
So, here's our little pea stubs. Maybe yours are a little cuter, maybe they're sadder, but either way, they're a reminder to pray for peace and to be instruments of God's peace.
It seems like we should fold. No
No
more folding.
No, we're done folding.
Should we fold them?
If you want.
Because it needs to fly.
Now it looks like a bug.
That's just because my paper's green.
Pray for peace.
These are your pea stubs. And you had several sheets of paper. You can make more and get better at it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can put them in lots of places around your house.
This is our first go. I know it seems like we're professionals, but I feel confident the more you do it, the prettier your duff will look.
And send us pictures on Facebook. Just put them in the comments. We'd
Peacemakers.
love to see your peacemaking doves.